The year's 1991. Magic and the Lakers did it again. They completed a three-peat, winning Magic his 7th Finals and Finals MVP. They dominated the 1980s, and they already are planting their fingerprints all over the early 1990s. Michael Jordan continues to be a dominating force, at least individually. However, he isn't seen as a winner, at least on a consistent basis. Although he just inked a fresh, new 4-year, $13 million deal, his frustration is beginning to mount. Jordan is the most efficient player and the best scorer in the league, being the PER and scoring champ in 6 of his 7 NBA years. He's doing it all on his own. The front office has tried to rework their roster, moving aging pieces of their core for younger players, hoping to keep their window open. Yet, the Fortune are fading as a threat in the West. Franklin Hunt, the man who got his job because of the Fortune's lack of money in his infant years, helped lead the Desert to championships. However, with these championship wins coming in his interim year and his first full year, the Fortune began to fade under his lead. Questions have began to be asked if Coach Hunt really won those rings, or if anyone would have won those, and it was simply Jordan's greatness. Perhaps Zach Battle, the man Hunt replaced, would have also won those championships. Jordan is publicly backed as head coach, but Hunt headed in the last year on the hot seat. After another early exit, Coach Hunt is out as head coach of the Fortune, finishing with a 261-132 regular season record and a 40-23 record in the playoffs. The 90s have gone off to a rocky start for Vegas, but with a new leader at the helm, hopefully they can turn it around. Alright, welcome back. So, as I said in the intro, I did say last episode if we didn't win a championship, I was going to get rid of Franklin Hunt, and I think it's finally time that we do so. He's been great for us for 5 years now, but it is time as we get into this new era. We made some changes with the roster and that didn't work out, and now I think it's time to make some changes with our coaching staff. But before we do that officially, we need to go through the player retirements as well as any historic changes, stuff like that. Norm Nixon is a name that catches my eye. Gus Williams, Tree Wallen, Cedric Maxwell, Maurice Cheeks, Michael Cooper. The Lakers are losing 2 guys, obviously not their main contributors, but anything that can help this team get worse, we will take. Michael Thompson retires. Yeah, there's a couple other names in here that are of note. The league is coming into its next era, but the Lakers are still just as dominant with the players from last era. Gus Williams gets his jersey retired with the Supersonics, and nothing new changes in the league, which means all of these we can go ahead and reject. Draft lottery, I believe we still only have just our pick. I could be wrong, although I only see us having our own pick. In Indiana's picks, we have 18 and 26. This is potentially a draft that we could move up, or we can just make a splash with where we are. Larry Johnson could be a guy. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get to number 1, unfortunately. Dikembe Mutombo. Ooh, Dikembe Mutombo is actually one to watch. If we could pair Mutombo with Jordan, interesting. If he genuinely falls, which we do not have him scouted whatsoever, he's the number 1 ranked player. So I would assume he doesn't fall, that he's worth going up to go get. I'm going to see if I can trade for him. But first, obviously Franklin Hunt is done as our head coach. His contract expired. We are not going to be bringing him back. We're going to be using all of our available money on our head coach slot. One interesting thing is that even though he's a 0-star coach, he actually has an offer from another NBA team, that not being us. So happy that we were able to get him another coaching job, but it will not be here in Las Vegas. As we're going to be looking through and see if we can get somebody, I would prefer to get somebody who isn't like a real coach historically, so that we can just like make our own storyline with him and not try and get him to fit. I would also like to potentially steal a Lakers coach like Mason Woods. Potentially is a guy we go get, except for he has no interest. If we have no money again, this is going to frustrate me like crazy, because I don't understand what is wrong with our financials right now, at least when it comes to our coaching budget. Okay, I turned on the budget. I might turn down our player payroll just for a moment, just to like get some money that we could potentially use. But even just turning that on, it didn't change anything. But I'm going to like tweak that a little bit to see if I can get somebody signed. We may have potentially found our guy in Mitch McCaw here. As you can see, 3.5 star on the defensive side, 1.5 star on the offensive side. I like that he is more defensive minded. He also is cheaper. He wants only $800,000 a year, and we're going to sign him. He will now become the 3rd coach in Las Vegas Fortune history. So we're going to go and put our player payroll back up, and then I'm going to turn the setting back off and just be in the red, because I don't want to deal with that. And we got a guy that I like now. So yeah. So talking to Cleveland, they have the number 1 pick. I want to make a big swing. This is all 3 of my picks for this draft, as well as Rafael Addison. This is a guy that originally last episode I said I didn't want to get rid of, but I think this is a swing that it's worth taking. I would trade Will Perdue, but he is on a expired like team option, so I have to trade Rafael Addison because he's the next youngest guy on the team. Like, I suppose I could do Tellus Frank, but like maybe Marcelonis, but same thing. Like, almost everybody I'd be willing to trade away is expired. So we're gonna see if this is enough. It is not. I'm willing to throw in maybe one more pick. And now they got me hooked. Who is in the 1992 draft class? Okay, so 1992 is Shaq and Alonzo Mourning. So we're going to be giving them 1993 draft picks instead, and they do it. Rafael Addison, it's a lot, but Dikembe Mutombo is so worth it. So I've continued to say that I'm going to get Michael Jordan a second star. I thought it potentially could be Del Curry. Thought it could potentially be Cliff Robinson. Could still potentially be AC Green, but I think guys like Del Curry and AC Green are more of third star type of guys or really good role players. Dikembe Mutombo is going to be that guy for us, and I don't care that he's not the best rated recruit, and I honestly think it's because he's already 25, which I did not realize, but we know who Dikembe Mutombo becomes. We're going to go ahead and take him with the number 1 pick. We're number 55 out at Georgetown, 7'2". Will Perdue, he was a solid starter, but Dikembe Mutombo is an upgrade, no doubt. And this is actually our first number 1 pick of all time. Remember, Michael Jordan was the number 2 pick. The Bulls actually took Keem over MJ. So that is our first ever number 1 pick. Supersonics drafting number 2, take Larry Johnson out of UNLV, also a very solid player. I don't want to see what their like overalls are yet. I don't want to ruin it for myself. Kenny Anderson goes number 3 to the Denver Nuggets. Number 4 is Steve Smith, who I didn't even see was in this draft class. And we'll round out the top 5 with Billy Owens going to the Trailblazers. We're going to sim to the end, and then hopefully Dikembe Mutombo is not like this raw prospect player. And he is. And he is. So Larry Johnson potentially, like straight overall, probably the better pick. Larry Johnson's a really good NBA player. But Dikembe Mutombo, he's going to get there. I have faith he's going to get there. And I think regardless, this is a trade that, like, as a fan, you have to be excited about. Like, yes, you give up Rafael Addison, but you get Dikembe Mutombo, you get the number 1 pick. You have to make that as a GM. I'm going to bring back both these guys. Qualifying offers, once again, I'm just not even going to give it to these two, but Rodman and Marcelonis are 2 guys we have to go get. With negative cap space, it's an absolute must to bring them both back. Marcelonis has been a solid role player for us, and then I have no clue where Dennis Rodman is. Rodman, we're going to bring back as well long term. He does not want to be here long term. He just wants a 2-year contract. That's fine by me, but I just need these 2 guys back, and we're going to get them back, and we'll renounce everybody else's rights, and we'll just let the roster autofy. I also brought in Jamal Wilkes because we need another small forward to replace Rafael Addison. And looking at the players who signed, David Robinson's re-signing with the Hawks. Scottie Pippen's going to re-sign. A lot of these guys were on their restricted free agents. Dominique Wilkins leaves Milwaukee to join the Knicks. So now the Knicks and the Lakers really look very strong. Reggie Miller staying with the Suns. Byron Scott staying with the Lakers. Chuck Person going back to the Trailblazers, where it looks like he potentially either signed a 1-year or got traded there. I'm not 100% sure. Fat Lever leaves Portland and is going to Miami. And here's a couple other ones. Jeff Rowland back again after last year, so must have just signed a 1-year deal. And contracts must already be getting a little weird, even in this era. So a couple other guys of note. CB Floyd going back to Philly. I can't believe that they traded for him, and he was on the expiring year of his deal. Traded for him last year in the draft, but that is the most notable free agents. Player progression, this is huge. All of our top guys go up. MJ's a 99, Derek Harper's an 84, Del Curry's an 84, Dennis Rodman's a 79, Steve Kerr up 2 to a 76, and Jamal Wilkes regresses from a 73 to a 70. Kurt Rambis is down to a 72. I'm not worried about that now. I am super excited for year 2 of Mutombo, because year 1, obviously we get no progression out of him, and I'm really hoping that's a big jump at 25. I'm hoping he has a big jump. And we have officially entered the Jordan era. So if we don't start racking up rings, then this is a lie. But as you can see, all the different changes, back to baskets illegal, hand checking's now allowed, zone defense is legal in 2001, Obviously, some of these changes are a couple years down the road. G League in 2001, so that means now we can start stashing players in the G League, which would be huge. And then a couple more teams joining in the mid-90s. So I am a little ahead of my time with the jerseys and like the logo. I keep telling you, like the Raptors and the Grizzlies, like these teams that had like these fun 90s logos. Well, they're joining mid-90s, so I was a couple years ahead of time. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can load up rings and Magic's era should be done. I got used to the old UI, so it's going to take me a second to get used to this once again. And with the new head coach, we're running a 9-man rotation to start. I would say that's about as deep as we are. Jaren Jackson joins and Maurice Reed joins to fill out the roster, but I would say, yeah, we're only 9 deep, which kind of worries me a little bit, but I feel like it's a very solid 9. As head coach, Mitch McCaw in his first year here. Super excited to see how this goes. And before we start simming, I need to do the system proficiency. I'm pretty sure the game now just puts it at like the best rated one, but it looks like they're all 3 stars. So I'm gonna stay at pace and space because that works the best with MJ, and then everything's basically a 3 star. So I might see if there's something else, but I think I'm gonna stay with pace and space. Outside that, we're just gonna get straight into simming. So we've reached the trade deadline. And my whole thing with this so far has been to try and speed these up. We're a solid 3rd seed, like we have been. Actually, we're not a solid 3rd seed. We are in the fight for positioning right now. But 22 and 17, I feel confident we're a playoff team. Everybody has stayed healthy so far. Knock on wood. And yeah, that probably just screwed up the audio, but I needed it. So now the audio has me knocking on wood quite literally because I am worried about this. We must have. Okay, I must have turned off the injury thing because it did not tell me of any of those. So one thing I've noticed about 2K, and I could be completely making this up, but I have a whole nother save right now that I'm just doing like for fun, but I have everything automated. Like it's supposed to be like a my career in my league. I have everything automated, and then everything was just automated in this. So I swear it just like transfers between your saves. I don't know, I'm probably just making it up. But so I guess we've been dealing with some injuries. I was kind of curious how it sims so quickly, but it looks like we're healthy for the most part. Michael Jordan is scoring at an elite level like he always does, and we will just quickly go through these. I mean, this is just a mid-season checkup, so Mutombo's already making his presence known in the paint though. I'm curious to see where he is in the award race. Hold on. Michael Jordan is playing so well that even though we're the 3 seed, he might finally get his first MVP. We need to keep him here, so I'm not going to change anything. Not even going to change anything. Wasn't going to make any trades, but I'm not doing anything, period, now. But what I'm here for, really, I guess he's not really scoring. I'm curious what his sliders are, but he's not scoring at all. I'm curious where he is in the defensive player. Okay, we have Michael Jordan, but we have no Dikembe Mutombo, which surprises me. I thought I'd see him here. And the other thing that we always look on, Michael Jordan might catch Magic Johnson. He might genuinely catch him. He might be the most popular player in the NBA now. And yeah, I mean, it is those two, and it's close. I mean, 100,000, not even 100,000. And then one last thing that I always forget to check is the Eastern Conference. The Knicks stand on top. The Magic, led by Clyde Drexler. Isaiah Thomas's Hornets are here. Gary Payton's Boston Celtics are here. Overall, pretty good. And then some bottom feeders include Sleepy Floyd's 76ers. I literally had to look because I couldn't think of anybody else on the Bucks. Jeff Rowland, he's here. Yeah, that was a bad signing, basically. Tim Hardaway's here on the Pistons. Bill Embiid's here. I should know who this is. Okay, I don't even know how to say his name. Well, I just learned a name, but we're going to continue simming. But before we do, we're going to go ahead and just lock up Derek Harper long term. We're going to set the precedent nice and early that you pay your guys that are playing well for you, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're not even going to let our guys hit free agency unless we literally cannot extend them. I know I don't want to stop at a ton of injuries, but Dennis Rodman going down for 8 to 10 weeks, left broken leg. At the point that we are in the season, that hurts big time because mid-March he might not be back for a deep playoff run. One thing I'll say about the era thing is that it seems to like reset whatever makes the 2K 8 to 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks, 8 to 10 days. Okay. All right, Dennis Rodman heals in about 100x what a normal human being heals at. That's ridiculous. On screen will be the true award winners. If I remember correctly, I did. Michael Jordan was the MVP here, and he ended up losing it to Magic Johnson. That sucks. I should have been looking at that down the stretch, but I wasn't. Terrell Brandon wins Rookie of the Year. He was the number 7 overall pick, so one of the first guys I simmed past. Rookie of the year in this class was Larry Johnson, who was the number 2 pick. Barry Baylor was 6th man of the year over Deathless Shrimp. In real life, I have no clue where he is in this save. Hakeem Olajuwon wins Defensive Player of the Year. In real life, David Robinson won this. Glenn Rice wins Most Improved. Some of these Most Improved, it's like, yeah, okay, he was the number 3 pick. I mean, it's Glenn Rice, right? Like, he's just progressing. It's like Cade Cunningham winning it this year. Like, there's no reason that he should have even been in the talks. Love that it's the 2013 award, by the way. That's the pitcher, but Glenn Rice should not have won that. And the Lakers. Lakers are on a down year, believe it or not, at 64 and 18. Jordan on the All-NBA first team. Are we going to see Dikembe Mutombo on an all-defensive second team? We are not, but Michael Jordan still on that all-defensive first team. Dikembe Mutombo is going to finish number 4 in all-rookie voting, so he's on the all-rookie first team, and that is it. So Michael Jordan, this may be the most efficient season to this point in NBA history. I could be entirely wrong, but every time I see like Jokic and Giannis being talked about, they're at like this number. I mean, I know 40 is like the max that potentially will touch. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't even need to check to see if he led the league. All of our stat leaders stayed the same. Jordan with points, AC Green with rebounds, Derek Harper with assists, Jordan with steals. The only new one is Dikembe Mutombo with 2.1 blocks per game. So the rookie is making his presence known. He's not a scoring threat yet, which makes me nervous, but he's already progressing in the season. I believe I drafted him at a 76. He's currently a 78, so I know he's going to get there as our second star, which makes me feel good about our 49 and 33 record, which landed us the 3 seed once again. I mean, we're just continuing to be the 3 seed, but this is going to be us at our weakest now with Mutombo and Jordan, as well as our upgraded core. I mean, the other guys are still getting better, obviously. So I think this is the worst we're ever going to be. Jordan is the point champ. Jordan is the scoring champ. Hakeem's the rebounding champ. Stockton is the passing champ. Jordan's also the steal champ. Patrick Ewing with 3.2 blocks per game is the block champ. Dominique Wilkins shot 58% on the season. Reggie Miller shot 45% from 3 on 3-point attempts a game. Derek McKee's up to 4 a game. And Sam Vincent back as the free throw champ, maybe missed 1 all season once again. So thanks to Rodman's super healing abilities, he is back like we saw. And so we're fully healthy outside of course, Kurt Rambis, but I think he may have played a grand total. Yeah, he played like 2 games. So we're full strength going into this matchup against the Denver Nuggets. Derek Harper, as I say that, gets hurt. Also refound one of my old camera angles that probably makes the playoffs a lot better to watch. And again, we're catching these teams probably at our weakest because Dikembe Mutombo, I fully believe, is going to be a 90 within a year or two, and we still match up very, very well. Michael Jordan at a 99 absolutely stands out as the best player in this series, no doubt. I think this is one that we can take care of very easily. And of course, we lose the first game, tied up at 1-1, and I'll go up 2-1, and please send him home. Okay, we're going to a game 5. I don't like a game 5 in the first round. It is what it is, and it looks like we're taking care of business, and they are hanging around a little bit. Del Curry is our leading scorer up to that point in the game, which is a little concerning. Michael Jordan is now passing, but if we can get Del Curry 20-point games in the playoffs, I'm living with that. I'm 100% okay with that. We're going to see our best friends in round 2, the Dallas Mavericks, and they look beatable. The look you saw is not what I meant. Take it how you will. They look beatable. Derek Harper, Ron Harper match up very well. Obviously, Michael Jordan is better than Joe Dumars. I mean, Del Curry, Mark Aguirre is going to be an issue, but they don't have Hot Rod Williams anymore. And Dikembe Mutombo, I'm going to continue to believe that he's just going to play better than his overall says. They look beatable. It's a best of 7, first one to win 4. They can take game 1. We are going to take game 2. And they're going to take game 3. How about game 4? We tie it up. This is definitely going to 7. 3-2. Oh, another game 7. Another game 7. As Rodman's currently injured a little bit, so is Derek Harper. You got to play through these. Have to. And we are getting stomped on the road. We're hanging around. We're making it a basketball game that you got to watch up until the 3rd, and this season is going to end the same way it has years prior. Michael Jordan did all he could. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Del Curry played well. I mean, Marcelonis, you get 10 out of him. AC Green just didn't rebound at all. I mean, Mutombo, once the scoring comes around, this is the worst we'll be, because once the scoring comes around, and you can't necessarily see it the best, but 7 points, 13 rebounds. 3 for 3. I mean, he's just got to be aggressive. I don't know if I need to change his touches or what it is, but I mean, we took him to 7. The Lakers have now 4-peated. Magic Johnson wins ring number 8. John Stockton and the Bullets get there, beating that Knicks team. Obviously, still not happy to be a second round loser, but we took him to 7 after the last 2 years. We've only taken him to 5. Jamal Wilkes, after 1 year, hangs it up for the Fortune. He played a grand total of like 1 game, I'm gonna guess. Oh, he played 10 games. Okay. So, I mean, I guess he got to put on 52 a couple times, but we still thank him for his service. Joe Dawkins retires. Robert Parrish, Adrian Dantley, Johnny Davis. Not sure why I called out Johnny Davis instead of some of these guys that are on teams like Mike Bratz, but another big list of guys that are retiring. A lot of coaches starting to retire as well, including our CFO. So maybe we get an extra little like kicker in money. Maybe we have a little bit more money. Don't know what a CFO does, not gonna lie, especially in the video game. Robert Parrish, Adrian Dantley, and Jamal Wilkes get their jerseys retired by their respective teams. Jamal Wilkes was a long-time Laker, of course. A lot of rebranding, it looks like, and then a new rule where the shot clock only resets when the ball hits the rim. Yeah, some of these rules I didn't even realize they were different. You know, I just kind of always figured like, yeah, that's basketball, but it's been like that since, you know, before I was born. Going into this draft lottery, I would assume that we are not going to be here anywhere. And we have the the Clippers pick at number 13. And then we should have our own, which is at 24. So we're still sitting okay. I have a lot of people we can sign, but the computer can do that for me. Obviously, we have Shaq, we have Alonzo Mourning, Christian Laettner. Would have been a good draft class to try and get into as well, but I am completely happy with Dikembe Mutombo. I'm not going to try and get back into this draft and try and give up more assets to get Shaq as much as it would be fun to go get him. I am just going to be happy with what I got. Robert Horry, Big Shot Rob is potentially a guy we could go get at 13. Doug Christie, another guy we could potentially get. He could potentially slide maybe a little bit. Hubbard Davis is potentially a guy we can get maybe in the late first round pick, maybe their second round pick. Charles Spirell is definitely another guy that we can potentially get, even though they have him ranked number 6. So a lot of good talent spread across this, and so I'm not entirely worried about moving up. So we're just gonna let it play out as is. Portland Trailblazers are gonna go ahead and pick up Shaq. He's got the Superman tattoo, and I did not realize that was in his rookie 2K save, but 7-1 out of LSU, 300 pounds. Timberwolves take Alonzo Mourning, 6'10" out of Georgetown. And they're talking about Derek Coleman leaving, but they have a lot of bigs up there in Minnesota, so they'll have to figure that out. Chicago's going to take LaFonso Ellis, power forward out of Notre Dame. The Sixers are going to take Jim Jackson, shooting guard out of Ohio State. And the Suns are going to take Latrell Sprewell, who I was eyeing as a late first-round pick, but he's going to go number 5 to the Suns. So we're going to sim to my pick here. Christian Laettner goes number 7 to the Pacers. Tom Gugliotta goes number 10 to the Pistons. And a lot of guys that I mentioned are already out there, still out there that we can go pick up. I mean, I didn't even talk about Clarence Weatherspoon. He could potentially be a replacement for Rafael Addison, who we had to give up to get Dikembe Mutombo. I mean, solid defender. He's already a league average defender, according to this. An above average rebounder. I think that's a guy we potentially go get. I want to say Robert Horry as well, but I think I want to take Clarence Weatherspoon. I think I can go get them both, really, and I'm totally fine with taking 2 small forwards, but Clarence Weatherspoon is going to be my pick at number 13. And picking with 24, Hubert Davis is still there. Malik Sealy's still there. That's another name I recognize. I think Hubert Davis potentially is the move. 6'5", he's tall enough to be moved to the small forward position, but he could be Jordan's backup. A very good shooter. Very, very good shooter. Still a solid defender. I think I'm going to take him. It might be a stretch according to the rankings, but I'm taking him with the number 24 pick. And we do have a second round pick, and so busy draft for us, and I'm going to take pretty much any of the guys that I recognize. And I mean, another center. I'm going to take the 7-1 guy. I don't know how to say his name, just kidding. I'm going to take Matt Fish because I know how to say that name. I'm not even going to pick this guy up realistically. Noah is a real NBA player because the players can. UNC Wilmington is where he's from, so we'll see. Maybe he potentially makes the roster here. So at 13, we got a little bit of a steal, 75 overall, Clarence Weatherspoon, and then at 24, Hubert Davis was a 71. So we got 2 steals relative. I mean, both the guys taken right before our picks. were absolute reaches. I mean, both auto-generated guys that were reaches. Here's a look at the second round as well. And I mean, even Matt Fish is a pretty solid pick for where we got him. And all three of them are going to make the roster as of now. Nobody with player team options. I don't even think we really even have anybody hitting free agency. Just kidding. We have Steve Kerr and Will Perdue, two guys that we're going to bring back. I think this is probably the last time I bring these guys back if they don't hit a big offseason. Like I said, I mean, this is going to be a big offseason for them, but they both progressed. They're both worth bringing back. It honestly just didn't let me extend them during the season. Otherwise, I would have. And those are two guys because we have no money. The game is going to autofill the rest of my roster, which I'm totally fine with. And hopefully we get some young guys potentially. I have no clue it's going to give me. It's probably going to give me some old guys. But we're going to give this a couple days and see. I mean, we have some solid players out here in free agency. And starting off with Isaiah Thomas going to the Clippers. He is done with the Hornets. He's on his third team in his career, and the West just got a lot better. Mitch Richmond stays with the Hawks. Ralph Sampson joins the Supersonics. The Clippers also re-signed Buck Williams. Hershey Hawkins re-signs with Utah. Danny Manning re-signs with the Rockets. And all these guys, I mean, no offense to them, but they obviously all use face scans from later in their career. As Kenny Smith went to Minnesota for a year, hated the weather, went back to the Clippers. That Clippers team is scary. Sidney Moncrief leaves the Seattle Supersonics and signs with the Bullets, joining up with John Stockton. And here's a look at a couple of the other guys. It's hard to see who's like on the rookie contracts because I have these guys and look on them. It's like, oh yeah, John Starks, 1988. Oh yeah, 1988. Like, it was only 4 years ago in the game, but like all their, I don't know, all their face scans are so old sometimes. Like, I don't know why they didn't use at least their best at using like actual rookie versions of them, but I don't know. Nitpicking 2K, I guess. Michael Jordan ends his reign as a 99 overall. He's now a 98. Steve here goes up 1 to a 77. Dikembe Mutombo did not progress whatsoever, and that's going to make that trade look really bad. Marcelonis goes down to 1 to a 75, and Kurt Rambis is down 2 to a 70. It's a little no progression. Mutombo just didn't progress. So I'm definitely going to be looking at his player card here to see why he didn't progress, because that trade is going to look terrible and age horribly when I could have just dumped all those assets into trying to get Shaq. So I'm going to talk while I do this so that nobody thinks I'm trying to mess with the player card. This is just his generic player card. And I mean, his peak starts when he joins the league. His peak ends when he's 31. And he has a max potential of 94 with an average of 49% and a boom of 45%. I mean, just it doesn't really make any sense why there was no progression from a number one pick into year 2. 26, he should be in his prime. He should be progressing. So I don't know. I did not realize Mutombo was 25 coming into the NBA. So that is definitely kind of an issue. Obviously, I saw that and still drafted him. Mitch McCaw's here for year 2, and the rotation is going to look very similar as it did last year. We're just running it back. Weatherspoon is going to get some minutes, so I'm going to make this a 10-man rotation very quickly, actually, because I would love to get at least one of my rookies playing time. 12 minutes a game feels very fair, and hopefully he can start to earn a role. With Mutombo, I mean, hopefully he starts to figure it out. I will say, I don't know if you've seen any of my 2K videos before, but I have nothing wrong with going in and like changing the shot tendencies. I see nothing wrong with that. I do it all the time. Mutombo needs to take more shots. I mean, he just does. He needs more touches. He needs more shots. I cannot see my number one pick put up 5 points a game again. At the trade deadline, we are once again a very strong 3 seed. Very strong 3 seed. There is 3 very good teams in the West right now. We've dealt with some injuries. Nobody's just been like out long term. Mutombo is currently hurt, but his numbers are up. I mean, obviously I did tamper with his tendencies a little bit. I need him to shoot the basketball. Like, I'm sorry. I invested in you. I need you to shoot the basketball. Jordan's having a great season. We're not going to look at our team stats, but we will look at the award races where Jordan, like I said, having a great season. He is once again number 1 MVP. Hoping we continue our dominance as a very solid 3 seed. I mean, if we're only 3 games behind the Lakers, they have to give Jordan one at some point. Obviously, Shaq, 84 overall, rookie of the year for the Trailblazers. Not surprised at all to see him there. Montrezl Williams is now in the Trailblazers as the 6th man of the year. From All-NBA second team, the 6th man of the year in like 3 years is kind of nuts. Jordan at the top of the DPOY. I'll believe that he's going to win one when he finally wins one. The most improved is still just like guys from the newer expansion teams. Before we move on, the Atlanta Hawks are an absolute force, and this team is good. I mean, you have an 85 and an 82 coming off your bench. This is a ridiculous team. This is crazy. David Robinson is a great recruiter. I mean, he has gotten all kinds of, actually, this is homegrown, isn't it? Oh, this is 100% homegrown. They are just elite at picking talent. I mean, this is really the only guy they've gotten, and I mean, he's their 7th man. Auto-generated guy, Burt Nixon. Yeah, never mind. They just are really good at finding talent. The Knicks are solid like usual. Dominique Wilkins is here, and he's been here for 3 years now. Carmelo, obviously, they drafted number 2 overall. And yeah, I mean, this is another team that for the most part looks like it's homegrown. Clippers went and got all that talent, and they are sub 500. I mean, Isaiah Thomas having a good season, a little bit of a down year it looks like at 31, but still a good team. I mean, Buck Williams having a little bit of a down year. I don't know why you'd have Kenny Smith coming off your bench. I don't know why you wouldn't slide him over to the 3 and maybe, I don't know, start Isaiah Thomas at his natural position. Why we're trying to force this work? Okay, I see why you're trying to force that to work. 22 point per game scorer. That makes sense. So I thought that team was maybe potentially gonna be better than us, and as of right now, they are sub 500, but I, again, don't want to jinx myself. What's crazy is that last video, I signed Michael Jordan to an extension. He's already up for another one. We're, once again, not even going to let him get into free agency. He now has a 5-year, $22 million deal. I have not been checking the numbers like very closely. Obviously, when I edit this, I'll probably see if he was the first ever $20 million deal. This is scary. I did not see this. I don't know why he's annoyed. This is very worrisome because another guy that we invested in, and obviously like winning a championship would solve all this, and there's a chance he still doesn't come back. Del Curry, by the way, has been dealing with like knee injuries all season long, so it's something to watch. I am still going to bring him back though. I think he's worth bringing back, and then obviously everybody else. We'll bring back Kurt Rambis. Why not? I mean, he's a legacy guy for us. He's a Laker or he's a Fortune. I mean, he's just a winner, but that's scary because I should have checked that just in case. So that's a lesson learned, because that is a guy that you refuse. I mean, I would rather trade him, but at this point, you see where I am in the season. We're just gonna have to deal with that. Oh, yes. Okay, Michael Jordan finally gets his MVP on screen. Real quick, we'll be the real life winners of these awards. It's going to be on screen for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to celebrate Michael Jordan finally winning an MVP. It is about time. I would argue this is not his best statistical season ever. I would argue last season he was better, but it is about time that he was rewarded with an MVP. Shaquille O'Neal wins Rookie of the Year, I believe, as he did in real life. He did in real life as well. By the way, MVP was Charles Barkley. Hot Rod Williams wins 6th Man of the Year. It was a Trailblazer, but it was Clifford Robinson, which I believe was the younger Cliff Robinson, the guy we didn't have. DPOY. Oh, okay. This was Hakeem Olajuwon. I was about ready to say Hakeem Olajuwon. Michael Jordan finally getting all the awards he deserves. This is the season. Coach of the Year is still the Lakers. They are on the decline. They are definitely on the decline. But Michael Jordan finally gets the awards he deserves. Here are the rest of the All-NBA teams, as well as, do we have anybody else on an all-defensive team potentially? We do not. Do we have anybody on the all-rookie team? We do. Clarence Weatherspoon makes the all-rookie second team. Got to start a decent amount. I think it's a pretty successful rookie season for the number 13 pick to finish as a top 10 rookie. I mean, looking at this, PER obviously doesn't say it all, but still an insane number, 38.1, but that is lower than last year. I think he deserved the one last year. He certainly has deserved more than this, being his first one at 30 years old, but we have all the same stat leaders as last year down to a T. I'm going to start looking at who's our leading, like percentage-wise. Michael Jordan is our leading field goal percentage. I'm not going to track this. He takes 22 shots a game is crazy. And Steve Kerr shooting 46% from 3. We have 5 guys that even take 3s, by the way. And Del Curry's taking 2 a game. Jordan's taking 1 every other game. He's shooting a decent clip. And Steve Kerr's taking 1 a game. Looking at the league as a whole, Michael Jordan is in a league of his own when it comes to scoring. Brad Daugherty is the leading rebounder in the league. John Stockton above double digits assists. Gary Payton actually is the steal champ over Michael Jordan, and the block champ is David Robinson. Field goal percentage goes to Clyde Drexler once again. Steve Kerr was actually the league leader in 3-point percentage. That's actually pretty cool to see that. And Sam Vincent on the Hornets now. Did not see him switch teams again. Probably missed a free throw game. He is having a, well, I would say career resurgence. I mean, he's making a career for himself. I mean, obviously a little bit less of a role than he had with us and his early years in Minnesota, but I mean, he's sticking around the league. He's still having a great career. Happy for the guy, and he's not in our conference, so I definitely can root for him. Like I said, we are the 3 seed. I believe we are pretty healthy, and we are indeed very healthy. We have no injuries whatsoever, so we can get into this first round matchup against the Warriors. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf is their best player, actually Dale Ellis is overall wise, and this is where we sent Cliff Robinson, or at least this is where he's ended up. Now I think about it, that's not our Cliff Robinson, so just ignore everything I said, but we are just flat out the better team. I don't want to say I'm not worried about them, because then this is going to happen and 2K is going to punish you for being super cocky. The MVP cannot go out in the first round. Cannot. You can't lose in the first round. That is ridiculous, and we're going to simcast all of these because I refuse to go home in the first round. And it genuinely might happen. I mean, we're playing pretty well on the road, and then I believe we get 2 straight home games. Could be wrong, but we dominate to go up, or I'm sorry, go down 1-2 here. Dennis Rodman, a fully healthy, barely paying attention to who's really healthy and not. Basically, if they can play through it. Once again, ooh, this is actually a very close game. Another road game, by the way, which is interesting, but it looks like we'll take care of business. And we will to force a game 5. I don't like that this is a 5-game series. I thought this was a team that was like 10, 11 players deep, but clearly not, because we switched to an 8-man rotation. And now we are rolling, and I mean, they're hanging around, so I want to be careful as this game comes down to the wire. But Michael Jordan 40 bomb, yeah, you're not going to lose it with a Michael Jordan 40 bomb. It sucks it took that long, but it is what it is. We finally don't have to play the Mavericks, who, by the way, didn't even make the playoffs. We are now actually playing the Rockets, who are really good. Chris Mullin, Danny Manning, Stacey King, Richie Newman, BJ Armstrong. I don't know if we've seen this team at all during the save, but this is going to be a new matchup for us for sure. As we take, no, we do not take game 1. We are the lower seed. Never mind. We go down 2-0 again, and we are going to face a sweep. Is Simcast our friend? I'm just straight up not going to change anything. Is Simcast our friend? It might be, and it might be worth just Simcasting our way out of these, but no. Once again, going home in the second round, late game resurgence. We are going to jump in because 4-point game with a minute left is worth exploring. All right, Danny Manning is at the line here, so we could potentially go down 6 here, but we get to see our home court, which we haven't seen yet in this era. Should be in the correct corner where I'm out of the way of everything, but these are big free throws here because this would put us down 6. Hopefully the game's not too loud. Again, don't have my headset on, so hopefully the announcers aren't, talking over me too much or being too loud here, and this is going to suck, but hopefully we don't see any dumb stuff where the game just doesn't take any shots. And I mean, I don't know, hopefully Jordan just demands the ball. We need quick shots here. This is not looking very quick. Yeah, this I would like you to sprint the ball up. I mean, I guess this is fine. Get to the signature shot, knock it down. Okay, with a minute left, you probably should be up on him, down 4, but that's fine. I guess it is still like a 3-possession game with this like amount of time, but again, we should probably pressure the ball a little bit. It's playing solid defense. Would love to nitpick 2K's defense, and we're living with that. Give it to Jordan. That works too. Derek Harper works. All we need is a score here. 40 seconds left in the game here. Don't need to force anything. Just look for something easy here. Like Jordan's going to get the ball here, reset the offense now. And this looks like he's just clearing out for an ISO here. Need to go relatively quick here. And a dunk to make it a 2-point game here. More than likely going to foul. 30 seconds left. Actually, we don't even need to foul. We just need to stop. Don't let them score here and we're fine. Do not let them score here and we're totally fine. If I remember correctly, we're sweating out to not get swept too. Like, this isn't even game 7. This is game 4. Yeah. Hopefully they take a bad shot here. And hopefully I'm not rambling too much over this. But here we go. 3 left on the shot clock. Force him into a bad fade. And that's going to fall. And that's more than likely going to be the game. Alright, down 4 with 5 seconds left. Obviously, immediate 3. Probably to Steve Kerr. I mean, I guess Michael Jordan could take the shot. But pretty much has to go to Steve Kerr or Del Curry here. But immediate shot's got to go up. Curry, shoot it. If it falls, we're fine, and it does not, and that'll end our season here. So the 90s have not been nice to us. Michael Jordan finally gets his personal awards, but, I mean, the team success has not been there. And Michael Jordan, 13 for 22, 35 points. Still just no scoring help, which looks great in the box score, like when he puts up these numbers, but truly we need a second option. And, I mean, potentially, maybe it's Clarence Weatherspoon, or he just had his best game ever. Would love for it to be Mutombo, who played really well in the playoffs. If we can get that production out of him, we should be fine. But AC Green is more than likely going to be gone, which sucks. He does not want to be here anymore, and we've been eliminated. So 2 trades that I've made to try and make big swings have both backfired in my face big time. And so I don't know, maybe I'm just a bad GM. The Cavs. It's not the Lakers. It's not the Lakers. That's all I care about, is that it's not the Lakers. The Cleveland Cavaliers, led behind Scottie Pippen, wins Finals MVP. Jordan still has more rings than him, so it's fine. But Scottie Pippen wins Finals MVP. He gets a solo ring, but the Lakers' reign is over. I think all of the NBA is overjoyed right now that that happened. That's going to do it for me as we get into the 1990s. Obviously, still not having the team success. Tried to change some things with our coaching staff. Seems to have potentially helped, at least like regular season wise. We're not declining anymore, but that also could be because of our younger team. Mutombo needs to progress in the next video, otherwise I went over 2 on big trades, especially if AC Green's actually out. But yeah, we are inching closer and closer to the 2000s, which also means the end of Michael Jordan's time in the NBA. So we do need to start getting some of these championships, and yeah, hopefully we can get him at least 4 more so I can match his real life number and potentially get him into that GOAT conversation, which right now Magic Johnson finally gets a finals loss. So yeah, that's all for me, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.